In the spirit of my sermon on Sunday, we will sing Jesus Will Fix It.
There you go.
7, 19.
You're going to like mine too.
Trouble come my way. Trouble come my way. You gotta pray sometime. Trouble come my way. You gotta pray that lawsuits have been filed against some of our sister congregations in the International Church of Christ and against Hope Worldwide. The allegations are many, but they're predominantly involve sexual misconduct towards minors from years ago. There's been an article published in Rolling Stone magazine. It came out on December 31st. This is all brand new. If these allegations are in fact true, or any of them are true, we are absolutely sickened and sorrowful. God continues to call us to love and to protect the most vulnerable amongst our flock, which would include that of the widow and the orphan and the alien. We pride ourselves on being disciples of Jesus and living in the light, and none of this would be representative of that. So we ask for you to pray for a few things. We want all the truth to be exposed. If there's junk that's out there, get it out there. We want it in the light. We don't want anything to hide. And we want justice to be served if, in fact, there were some mishandling of things. So, on a personal note, I'll say this. Facebook's starting to blow up. I'm just on Facebook. I'm sure the other ones are as well. People are this and that. Just be careful you don't jump in a lot of conversations and rush to judgment. Because the last thing you want to do is to find out that you're on the side where some people are defending the church, but they don't know anything. The last thing we want to do is defend something that we did wrong. On the flip side, if we haven't done anything wrong, we don't want to be trying to tear people down who are innocent. So let's just not rush to judgment on any of this. There's a few statements being made in some of our sister churches today, but this all just came out in like the last couple days, so it's all kind of new. We'll keep you updated as things go on. None of this has anything to do with the Greater Cleveland Church of Christ, but we are a family of churches, and so there are some things going on. I'm going to stop there, otherwise I'm going to say too much, and there we go. Amen? Amen. So there's that. You can, if you just type in Rolling Stone and ICOC, it'll come up, and you can judge for yourself what you think about all the different things. But we're just going to wait until everything comes out, and then just, we'll have updates, I guess, next month for you as that goes on. Amen. Thus ends the discouraging part of the midweek service. Hey! We're on to bigger and we're on to new things here. Let's turn our Bibles open to John chapter 1. Chapter 1. Are we ready for the Gospel of John? Do you agree with John? We'll get there, but before we do that, I thought we'd take some time. I always think it's encouraging at the beginning of the year. It's a good time for people to set goals. It's a good time for people to dream again. It's a good time for people to have their resolutions. And some people are good at the dream, and they just want to have the big dream in front of them. Some people are more in the specific resolution and all that. Whatever it is that you're good at, or whatever it is that you've come up with, we'd love to hear from you tonight. So, with that in mind, I want to read John chapter 1. And it says here in verse 1, in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. He was with God in the beginning. Through him all things were made. Without him nothing was made that has been made. In him was life, and that life was the light of all mankind. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it. And we'll go ahead and stop right there. So we've got this great passage here in John. John starts off with the same words that Genesis starts off with. These are the only two books of the Bible that start off with, in the beginning. And as you start to read it and let it kind of dwell within you, it's a heavy, heavy chapter in terms of theology and all kinds of good stuff going on. But what you begin to start to realize is there is a connection here between what John is doing here in John chapter 1 and Genesis chapter 1. These kind of mimic each other to a certain degree. Again, of course, starting with the in the beginning. I think that was done intentionally. But basically what we have in Genesis chapter 1 is, in the beginning, there's nothing. Everything is dark. The world is formless. It's void. It's all kinds of things like that. And there he
go. It's just kind of this emptiness, right? And then God shows up, and he says, let there be light. And as we see here in verse 5, it says, the light shines in the darkness. That what John's doing is he's saying, listen, guys, the earth is kind of formless and void again in terms of morality, in terms of a lot of things. And into this great darkness is going to step in this great light. Just as God had said in the beginning, let there be light. In John chapter 1, this is just another form of it. Well, Jesus is going to show up because God says, let there be light. And keep going here in verse 6. It says, there was a man sent from God whose name was John. He came as a witness to testify concerning that light, so that through him all might believe. He himself was not the light. He only came as a witness to the light. The true light that gives light to everyone was coming into the world. And so here we have it again, that this, out of this darkness, this great light is coming. A great light has dawned, other scriptures talk about. That Jesus is the light that was kind of showing up in Genesis 1. It's showing up again in the form of Jesus. We're going to talk a lot about this over the next 2 weeks. We're going to break John chapter 1 into 2 different Sunday sermons. But for purposes of tonight, what was happening here in John 1 with the coming of Jesus had been a few thousand years in the making. Well, maybe it was a little longer than that, actually. God had this plan from the beginning to bring salvation to all. The plan started with the Jews. I mentioned this a few different times in December. We didn't quite do what God expected them or asked them to do, to go and to bless all the nations. And so here comes the new plan, if you will, which was the first plan, the original plan. But this plan was to bring God's Son down to the earth to be the light to all the nations. God had a goal. God had a plan from the beginning to make, like I said, to bring the light to this world. And in that spirit, I think it's good for us to have big goals, right? It's good for us to have great plans. God didn't just have a great goal. He had a plan, and this plan got enacted out all the way through and throughout the gospel. But for purposes of tonight, I thought this might be fun. If anybody has got a spiritual goal that they have for 2023, or a New Year's resolution, maybe it's kind of spiritual and hey, there we go. Whatever it is, if you've got something like that, I'd love for you to share. So, anyone got a New Year's resolution for us? Yes, Megan Forstner. Hey, that's really, really awesome. Awesome. Willie Swift. Amen. Total surrender. That's great. Fantastic. Jose Velez. You got to stand up, buddy. Yeah. That's fantastic. I shouldn't say always, but there are a number of ICOC hosted type of tours like that.
Norby has some. There's another one. And Anton does them. They don't do them. I think Douglas does them every year. But if anybody else is like, that sounds really, really cool, like bucket list sort of thing, there are programs out there and tours and all that. Yes. Miss Arnetta. All right, amen. Here we go. Dale. Dale, you're a resolution kind of guy.
Oh yeah, I got a lot, but the one I want to share, we're officially empty nesters now that Nikki's married and out of the house.
Oh, that's.
My goal is, as Barbara you're watching, we already know this, but we're going to have a date every week where we're planning a special time just to focus in on the marriage and helping grow.
Yep.
And the second big thing is, as a teacher in this kingdom, to make it fun and memorable for the kids.
Love it. Love it. That's awesome. Go ahead, Randall.
Okay, on the upcoming weeks and months of this year, I'd like to be a little more involved with the church in the spirit. Maybe some of you know that I support at the website, which, I put an article in there, a new article every now and then. So, that's what's going to happen, whatever God has in mind, I'm here.
Hey, there you go. Awesome. Jeffrey Forrester.
My goal is to read the Bible every year. I'm using a new version. One story that we should do every day. It's got Bible Bible. I love it.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, three more chapters.
Jeff hasn't been listening. He's just been trying to catch up. That's how I went through all of high school and college, doing my homework while during the class. There you go. I like it. I like it. Anyone else like to share? Yeah, go ahead, Michael Simpson.
Basically.
You gotta stand up, brother. You gotta stand up. We have rules. No, never.
Basically, what I would like to do is take a few steps back, allow myself to be open, vulnerable, which I've done with my extended family. I am still working through everything since my mother died, but the biggest thing that I'd like to see we all do is just take a few steps, be open, be vulnerable, because if you can be open and vulnerable in here, you can be open and vulnerable with your family and your friends. out there.
Hey! We got some sermons popping up here out there. I'm not sure if I shared this with you guys or not. I think I did, but it's worth sharing
Again, because you're right there. At Mike's mother's funeral, I've been to a lot of funerals. You kind of do that when you're a minister. But at Mike's mother's funeral, I heard one of the best eulogies I've ever heard in my entire life, and it was given by Michael Simpson for his mother. It was really, really good. So you did a fantastic job. So amen. Random encouragement. There you go, bro. You did fantastic. Awesome. Well, encourage you all to get different goals and dreams and to think like that. I know for me, I'm the kind of guy that if I don't have a vision in front of me, I just kind of peter out. I got to have something that I'm going for. You know, I got to have a great vision. And so I know a lot of us are built that way. I encourage you to have that. And let's rock and roll here in 2023. Amen. All right, let's turn our attention now to some calendar events. Hey! You guys aren't excited about calendar events. That's okay. We're gonna move quickly through the calendar events. There's a couple kind of new ones that I wanted to touch on here, and then all of these will be in the newsletter and all that. But a lot of the ones we're going to focus on are ones in the first half of the year. So the first thing that we've got going on here in just a couple of weeks is we have a small group leader workshop. Yay! I'm cheering for my own announcements at this point. So it's going to be on January 14th, and what we've decided to do is we are going to bring together all of the small group leaders from the Cleveland Church, from the Toledo Church, and from the Akron Church, and they are all coming to our wonderful facility where we don't have to pay rent. Amen. We're fired up about that. We didn't have to go and get a hotel or anything. And honestly, we just want to have an afternoon that's really designed to encourage the small group leaders and to give you a few kind of tips and tools to help you in 2023. So this is not a meeting where you go and get yelled at. This one is going to be positive, and it's going to be great. The idea of it here is we're calling it 23 and we. Get it? 2023, we. And the design of it is the DNA of a small group. It's been a while since we've had, I guess we've had small groups, but we're going to break down the 3 ministry couples are each going to give a lesson. I know that we're going to make them short lessons, so amen, keep it encouraging. But we're going to talk about 3 crucial aspects that we need to have successful small groups. So we're going to keep it very practical. You get to make a lot of friends. We're going to have a big lunch together, and it's going to be glorious. That is January 14th. This is open to what was decided was going to be anyone who leads a small group and anyone who assists in leading a small group. And so since we don't officially have assistants, if you're not a small group leader but you want to be one day, come talk to us, and we'll see if we can get you on in here. Amen. We can pull some strings. I know a few people. All right, there we go. So that is coming up on January 14th. Another thing for us to mark our calendars, it's starting to feel like post-COVID type of church again. We're going to be having a marriage retreat. Okay, this one we are going to the hotel for. So this one is also going to be in Cleveland, Ohio, and it is also going to include the churches in Akron and Toledo. So we're going to have a big old party together. We're going to all come together for an entire weekend. We'll actually have our worship service there at the hotel. Crown Plaza, right? Crown Plaza, Playhouse Square. There you go. Crown Plaza, Playhouse Square. It's going to be awesome. Any other details you would like to share about that, lovely wife? My wife's been working on this one, so.
It's going to run from noon to noon on Saturday until noon on Sunday. And we definitely encourage you to come on in and spend the day with us, spend the evening and the night with us. We're going to have some lessons during the daytime. We're going to have some activities during the evening time. If you're not able to stay overnight, we also have a day rate as well if you just want to come for Saturday day lessons and then come back for Sunday worship service. So all that information is coming out very soon as far as what the rates all are as well.
Awesome. There we go. So that's going to be great, and what we like is that it's going to be 3 churches, just get to meet new people, and it's all kinds of awesomeness. Amen. Parents, 'cause I don't think there's too many teens here. As you can tell, I just kind of stole all these things off the internet here, these little, these little things. That's not really our logo, but that's okay. There's going to be a teen rally that's coming up in February 18 and 19 down in Cincinnati, Ohio. And what I wanted to mention to the parents is let's really try to get our teens down there for a few reasons. Number one, it's really good for them. Teens, when they are not together, tend to not do well spiritually. But over the summer, when there's camp and all that, anytime we can get them together, it's always a good thing. The other thing is Cincinnati did a phenomenal job of sending up lots and lots of people to our event. And so, yeah, we want to send a lot to their event, and there you go. Quick little shout out to any college students or young professionals. If you notice those dates, they are the same weekend. So we're going to be staying up here. It would be wonderful if we could get a few chaperones that wouldn't mind heading on down with our teens that weekend down to Cincinnati. So more unnecessary plugs on that coming soon, coming shortly. More guilt trips coming shortly. Okay, there we go. All right, another event that's coming up that's a very unique one, but I think could be of great value. The Cincinnati Church is hosting a weekend where Guy Hammond is coming to town. And Guy Hammond, if you're unaware, leads really an amazing ministry called Strength and Weakness. And the primary function of Strength and Weakness is to help people, is to kind of help bridge the gap between same-sex attraction and our family of churches. In other words, there's a lot of people that struggle with same-sex attraction. There's a lot of parents who have children who have got a lot of questions about same-sex attraction and about transgender and about all these sort of things. Maybe you have a family member that you don't know how to reach out to, or you don't know how to love, or you're not sure if you should shun them or love them or what. This whole weekend is going to be designed to try to help us be able to kind of minister to these sort of issues. And so Guy is awesome at what he does. Again, he's got an entire ministry. So if that's something that you would be interested in attending, and that workshop, that's going to be in Cincinnati, and that's going to be April 14th to 16th, and it'll be a really great weekend. So they said that at the conference, at the conference down in Orlando, when they had all those different tracks and they had all those different things, and you sometimes get those competing classes, right? Like I went to a class and only had like 8 people in it, but other classes have hundreds. They said when it came to the teens, the teen ministry, the largest class by far, it was like every teen went to, was Guy Hammond's class where he was addressing these issues. So we can sometimes maybe be a little bit out of touch, but this is real life sort of situation. These are big time questions that our kids have. This is going to be a great weekend and a great resource for those sort of things. So that's April 14 to 16, end of blurb. Okay, next we have a women's retreat. I'll let my lovely wife share about this one.
Yes, I'm so excited. We are bringing back the women's retreat. And this is another one that we're going to do as a joint retreat. It is going to be Toledo and Cleveland, so I'm very excited about that. Kim Snell and I are putting it together right now. What I have for you today is a date and a location. So the rest is on its way as far as the theme and our speaker and all of that. But it is going to be May 6th and 7th, I believe, Saturday and Sunday. And we are going to go out to Fremont to the Sawmill Creek Inn, which is where we've done marriage retreats before, just so that we can kind of bridge the gap between Toledo and Cleveland, and none of us really have to drive that far. So we're heading out there. It will be a full day Saturday event, and then as well it will be a Sunday morning worship service together as women before we head back to our respective churches. So I'm super excited about that. If you're interested in helping us to plan it, please come see me, let me know, so that we can make sure that we get lots of great ideas as we put that together.
Go women's retreat. Hey, there we go. One of the things that we talked about for the brothers is we thought it might be a really cool idea if we have some type of men's event. In the past, we used to do those camping things, and this is probably not our year to revive those whole big camping trip things. Why are you looking crazy at me? Remember Sabo used to put together those big men's weekends and all those sort of things? rather than doing that, because we're going to try to, well, there's other things going on. It's going to be a busy fall. If any brothers are ever interested in just saying, hey, I want to put together an event. Let's all get together and go throw axes and, all that sort of stuff. You let us know. We're always looking for fun things to do together. It'll be glorious. John got very excited when I said that, so. Oh, wait, in our conversation, Tammy didn't, never mind, I'm sorry. Sorry, Tammy. Tammy's like, you can't we won't throw the axes in here, amen, but we'll, there we go. So, brothers, let's do some things, amen, whether big or small. If you've got ideas, keep them coming. We'd love to do that. Let's go over just a couple of camp dates here for a little bit, just a little bit about what's going on this year. We've decided to kind of break the camps into 2 this year. We used to have 3 camps, as I put up the number 4. We used to have 3 camps, there we go, and now we're going to go down to 2 camps. But with that, one of the things that we've decided to do this year, based on numbers and manpower and all kinds of things, is we're actually only going to have 1 camp in Ohio this year, and it's going to be for grades 3 through 7. That's going to be incoming 3rd through incoming 7th. We're going to have 1 week of camp with those age kids in Ohio. The teens, however, we're going to go ahead and join forces with the camp in Pennsylvania at Schwanksville there. I believe the name of it now is the Camp Hope for Kids. I can never keep up with all their names. It's been a few years since we've been there. But we already talked to the teen parents about that. The teens are going to go there. The dates for this, again, we'll get all this in the newsletter. For the ones that we have in Ohio, it'll be July 6th through the 12th. And the ones that we're going to have go to Philadelphia, or to Pennsylvania rather, is going to be July 9 to 15. The way this works is this. Basically, that camp is a lot more expensive. However, what they're going to do is they're going to discount the price for us for that 1 week due to our travel. So the way the Philly camp works is you can really go almost any week of the summer and have an awesome teen camp, but we're trying to keep all the Ohio Valley kids together, so you get the discount for that one particular week to try to encourage all the teens, all of our teens to be there together for that particular week. Does that make sense? Good. Okay. Amen. So there we go. And I'm not sure if the discount would apply if you, I'm not sure about all that, but the goal is to try to get them all there. Okay, a couple other things, and then we'll move on to other things. Amen. We have a 30-year anniversary service coming up. My man Jose over there, he said to me about a year ago, because I like fanfare, I like having big celebrations, I like these sort of things, and so we thought, oh, what's a better time than to have a new church building? Let's have a big celebration and all that. But the challenge with that was that it was kind of we keep rolling into more and more things, like the building's not totally complete, and it wasn't one of these buildings in which you buy it, you get it all done, and then you open the doors. And so we've had a lot of celebrations along the way, but we haven't had a big one. So what we thought about was, well, what if we combined that, and sometime in the fall what we'll do is have a big celebration, 30-year anniversary, invite back all those people that have been a part of our church and whatnot, and just have a great weekend of events and make it awesome and a lot of fun. And sound good? Okay, one last time. What we have learned is that the announcement portion of any service is the most unlistened to portion of the entire service. It's true of every church. There's just something about it. So for the last time, if you would like to be part of the committee to start planning this out, we need to get moving right away. We do have a few people that are on our committee already. Yeah, I got you, Vicki. You're in. If you'd like to join that committee and help us out, basically just plan it from the start of what are we going to do and all those sort of things. Let us know today, and that'll be great. Amen. And that ends the announcement portion of our calendar portion. There we go. Okay, guys, let's talk about I agree with John. We're very excited about this. So I believe we're up to 10 churches now that are going to be doing the I agree with John format for 2023. And I've talked about this, but I'll just mention a few things. There's been some new developments with it. But all of these churches, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be preaching this year. We're going to be preaching through the Gospel of John. We're going to be preaching through 1st, 2nd, 3rd John. Somehow they left Jude off there, but we got to throw Jude in there because John think you wrote that one too. Anyway, and then we're going to end the year with Revelation, which scares me because I've never preached through Revelation before. So amen. The design of this is that if you want to go deep in this stuff, we are going to be providing resources to really fill you up with a whole bunch of the Gospel of John. And so it starts with the website, iagreewithjohn.com. So if you go there, you're going to see all kinds of different resources. And my friend Joel Nagel, who's a very creative man, has come up with all kinds of different things. But when you go to the iagreewithjohn.com website, you are going to be met with a number of kind of agreement statements, if you will. And so what he has done is he's designed 6 short kind of quiet time / Bible study sort of things, and then you can sign up and decide whether or not you agree with John on that particular thing, and they're, right from the Bible, and there you go. So it's kind of fun, and I think Joel's idea is at the end of it, you can fill out like a little form, and so it's almost like an evangelistic website as you're wearing this. If you're wearing some gear, it says, I agree with John, and you just say, hey, we'll go to the website and check these Bible studies out. And anyway, it's kind of like some starter Bible studies there. But there's a lot of other things as well. So there's the user agreement, and then there's the daily devotional sign-up sheet, okay? And so if you'd like to have a daily devotional from the Gospel of John emailed to you, I imagine it would be an email that would be coming to you, you can go ahead and sign up for that. I have signed up for it, and it's going to be great. And so basically what ministers are doing is we're each kind of taking a week and really saturating ourselves in that particular chapter and coming up. Each minister comes up with all of these resources way ahead of time, right? And then we all kind of preach them together and have some fun with it. So there's that. Another thing is there is a new podcast out. It's called Bible Talk. And this is led by Damon and Ivy Brogg. You can click on it right from the I Agree with John website. And basically what they do is it's just a husband and wife. They lead a church in Appleton, one of Dale's, Dale Land up there in Wisconsin, one of those churches. And they just have a podcast where they just talk through the Gospel of John together. And so they're kind of a part of this whole thing, and it's great. In fact, Damon was here a few years ago. He actually preached in Cleveland. Back when we were at the school. So there you go. So there is a podcast that is available. And then, of course, my favorite is all the merchandise. So if you go right from the iagreewithjohn.com, there's a merchandise thing. The key to it is, it took me a little bit to figure it out. You want to, once you go to the merchandise link, you got to click on the Shop All Products. And then it will give you everything that Joel has created. And you can get hats, you can get mugs, you can get just about anything. If there's stickers, there's this, there's that, there's all kinds of different things. And the design of it is that, you're out there, you're wearing it. It's kind of a striking, like, wait, what does that mean? I agree with John. And, kind of get you kind of a starter into some evangelistic type of conversations and all that sort of stuff. And I think that's all I got. Yeah, that's all I got. The other thing that I have, I'm very excited, little disappointed in the timing, but still very excited, is we have actually ordered, I was mentioning it before, we've ordered for everyone in the church a notebook, and I just got my notification that they will be arriving tomorrow, so you don't get it tonight. That's the bad news. But we'll have them for you on Sunday. And what it is the Gospel of John in notebook form. It's kind of hard to explain, but on one side of the page is the printed, like, chapter 1 or, half chapter, whatever it is, and then on the second, on the flips, or, the opposite? Yeah, opposite. There you go. Really smart tonight. On the opposite side of that is just notebook paper, just notebook, so you can just take your own notes. So maybe this is just something you want to bring every Sunday, and as we go through it, you can make notes there. Maybe it's something that you want to use your quiet times on and go, however you want to use it, they're just really cool. So we just bought the ones for the Gospel of John. We didn't do the 1st and 2nd, 3rd John, all that sort of stuff. So anyway, but those will be available on Sunday, and we're giving those to you for the low, low price of free. Amen? Hey, there we go. And that, my friends, is an early midweek. Well, let's do this. Why don't we, since it's the beginning of the year, I thought what we could do now is break into little groups and pray for our year. So maybe get a group of 4, 5, 6 people. Maybe talk a little bit about your resolutions together, and then we'll break into prayer, and we'll close it out at about 8 o'clock. Sound good? Amen.
been so free, caught in your love for me. Never been more secure, knowing your heart, Lord. Never been so free, caught in your love for me. Never been more secure, knowing your heart, Lord. Never been so free, caught in your love for me. Never been more secure, knowing your heart, Lord. Never been so free, caught in your love for me. Never been more secure. You give me joy down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul. You give me joy down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul. Just some voices. You give me joy down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul, down deep in my soul.